There's another thing that I will suggest, quite different beyond the tweaks that I've given you for this. You can try a completely different experience here. You can start playing with more tantric kinds of experiences. So if you're saying that with the techniques that you've picked up from the course, now she's a lot more sensitive, she gets aroused really fast, has a lot more sensitivity in the vagina, she has an orgasm, too soon, in your opinion, that doesn't allow her to continue, then you can take a whole different perspective now if she feels like so much sexual energy throughout from the very beginning. And this perspective is actually useful for anybody who's listening to it, who struggles with being so excited that they're very close to an orgasm. What are we doing here now? We are not trying to come, because you're saying that you're trying to delay it in her. We are not trying not to come, because that's a meaningless objective for sex. We are not here to not come. So we are delaying the orgasm. Why? Because once she has an orgasm, she can't continue. We are extending the time. A time for what? To experience the flow of sexual energy, right? I call it sexual energy. You call it in your message, these feelings that she's enjoying, that pleasure that she has discovered that she wants to feel. We are here to experience the flow of sexual energy. So as long as sexual energy is flowing and we are enjoying it, we don't need to do anything. The movement is there only to create sexual energy. We are moving to generate sexual energy, right? Now, if she's already so sensitive and aroused that it takes very little for her to come to an orgasm, then it probably means that you can not do much and she will still feel the flow vibrating through her without even a lot of movement. It would be interesting to explore that. What happens if you go inside her and you just feel into your body and you don't move and you just try to feel the flow that is already there, because it will be there if she is already so aroused. Relax into it with your mind and just really feel into how that is spreading through your body, because you are going to be empowering it. When you're listening to it in your body, you're still magnifying it even without any movement, so it will grow. So if you wanted to prolong, to delay the orgasm, you could just at first feel how that sexual energy is flowing without even any movement. Now, it's not going to be close to an orgasm. It doesn't matter, because it's a different kind of experience. You're enjoying that really amazing, blissful kind of experience, even without any movement of that particular kind at that particular intensity before you start escalating to an orgasm. You wanted to extend it, you can extend it this way. You don't need to extend it only by being, 2% away from an orgasm. If there is nothing without any movement, then you move just enough to start feeling enough of a flow of sexual energy, just with the philosophy being that you only need to move enough to feel the flow of sexual energy, no more. If it needs constant a bit of movement to keep, pulsing a little bit more of that sexual energy to keep it on the level, you can do that. I think the misunderstanding can be sometimes that, we need to head for the, orgasmic waves at 98% and keep it there and not come, Now, obviously, there are some techniques that we talk about in the course that do that, but you don't have to do only that. What you're doing with that is that you are creating that intensity at 95% or whatever, and then you're keeping it there with just enough movement, right? But you can take the same approach of experiencing that sexual energy at all the different levels of intensity. At first, when you start in stillness, then you start moving a little bit, feel the flow, and then eventually it's going to be at that higher level, and then you're going to maintain that movement to feel the flow. You're going to get a different experience at every level. It's going to be sort of different in quality. That's going to be very nice, and altogether you are extending that time to the orgasm without being constantly on the verge of the orgasm. Yeah. Now, the reason I call it tantric is because then we're going to start going into really interesting places there, because we are not just, okay, so before there was just going to the orgasm and then having the orgasm, and now there is like trying to have orgasmic waves and then having the orgasm. But we can start discovering other places before that as well, where things just flow into you. They are not feeling orgasmic, but if you really listen into them, then just that state of mind of just feeling that flow into your body, feeling how it spreads into your body without forcing it anywhere, that's going to be a very interesting experience. It's going to have more dimensions to it than just physical pleasure. I'm not going to give it any names, but you will just experience interesting things.